For what?
To gain what?
To gain what? If the person doesn't have the numbers, then that one self, we will still would have to look into it properly before we can even accept it as a publicity stunt. Has the crime not been committed? If it has been committed, then what are you using the excess for? Because these are secondary conversations. These are secondary conversations. The be more you go on her YouTube page and go and check her numbers. Crazy numbers.
Over 3 million.
So she's going to, yes, publicity stunt. It is part of the conversation. But who allowed her to get that kind of leverage?
Bringing the whole community on stage. I mean, the professionals have said it. They've said it all.
The professionals.
You won't understand why. You see, if you look at the Headies very well, from time immemorial, their organization has been one of
they've been suffering.
Baddest.
They'll be suffering.
Charlie, you won't understand where the problem is. Because financially, they are there.
They are there. Yeah.
They give money to winners. They give cars at some point. Not any type of car. The last year or last 2 years, for instance, they gave a Bentley or some heavy car, fresh. You understand? They are way ahead of TGMA financially. But the organizer gives TGMA a serious thumbs up. It seems the organization that Headies Ankasa, it looks more like the current state of Nigeria, the Nigerian country. Oh yeah, I'm being honest. In all uniqueness,
I like it.
Okay, in all uniqueness of the Headies, you understand that their organization looks just like the way Nigeria is currently.
I like.
So other agencies should work. I think it is a wake-up call for all the agencies who are supposed to protect intellectual properties. They should be working. That's why, well, sometimes we say that government agencies or those who are working in government institutions, they are not so proactive. Because whether they protect your copyright or not, they will get paid.
Yeah.
So copyright, yeah, infringes, they will get paid. Look at the narration that the guy going against Sarko they give. Or they call copyright or man vino.
Yeah.
That's why he took it to court. Meanwhile, we have copyright office. We have people working there. We have people who get their salary for that job. They don't do it, but they get paid. So that the problem goes beyond Kafui Danku and what she can do. But I think it's a good initiative that she's given. She should rather be focusing on getting the appropriate authority to act instead of just coming out with presses and all those things. Because the way that she said it, I'm not surprised that she will get a response
like that.
That from Francis Doku. Yes, to tell her, say, Asamba,
I'll be very surprised. Like, I would have been very surprised if Kafui Danku had gave 5 solutions bang to this conversation. I would have been very surprised because where we are coming from, we are not proactive, or we are reactive. Things come and we rather react to it than to be proactive and say, okay, we anticipate some of these things might happen, so let's put some measures in place so that when it happens, we will be able to hold it. For me, she's speaking, and for so far, the conversation from her side has been good.
Okay.
Even if they will not be able to do anything substantial, like we've seen, because this is not the first time you're having this conversation. Even if they will not be able to do anything proper to it, at least the initial conversation itself will give some form of assurance and calmness to the people who are now victims in this conversation.
Okay.
And the people who are calling them out to say they are doing this for publicity stunts there. I am him time. I am him time combined. Because I am asking myself, so okay, publicity stands for what? For what?
To gain what?
To gain what? If the person doesn't have the numbers, then that one self, we will still would have to look into it properly before we can even accept it as a publicity stunt.
Ride or drive with Shaxi. Download the Shaxi ride-hailing app and sign up as a driver or rider. Get Shaxi today from the Google Play and Apple App Store today.
Well, it feels good to come back to start the week after the weekend. Not a very long weekend. I think Another holiday is just ahead of us. May Day, Workers' Day. That is happening on May 1st, right? Yeah, I'm thinking about some 1 or 2 things that we can do as an organization. And again, if it happens, you guys will all be invited. But I would want us to start with this. Is Ayisha and Stonebwoy over now? Ayisha can't be or there are still more to say. That is how I want us to start the show, because Shatta is waiting for their showdown to finish. Shatta is saying he's waiting for their showdown to finish for him to give us another showdown. Like, get the Japan showdown. So, is that all or more to come? And I'm going to start with Long John. Because you believe everything Ayisha is saying.
Ayisha's unofficial PR.
Yeah. So in the studio, gentlemen, I see that Long John is here at the extreme end. Odumodu is in the middle, as usual. And Roland Amate is also here, my immediate left. We have some stories to talk about, but I would want us to start with this question of, is Ayisha done or there are more? Did she even cause more damages? Long John, let's start this way. Quick. This one is not part of our main topics. I just want us to see if you're prepared to cry. Is she done?
Yeah, you're prepared. Yeah. The idea it seems she's done in 7 years.
Asa.
On a Monday morning, about 12 upon
Yeah.
It's past 12.
Yeah.
And Ayisha has not giving us a live update. Then I'm sure.
Oh, why? She does. Oh, so all the deliveries were live?
I feel, yeah, all of them were live. Live updates. Yeah, recorded video back to
Oh, I see.
So I'm sure it's either she's had someone to convince her to stop. Or now we won't say or cut too much until also to know.
Oh, okay.
Because whatever is happening. But so far punchline happened, and you do so punchline. The other normal.
Oh, I'm sure the one she thought was going to be the Doomsaw punchline
was the Shatawale.
No, the
feature.
Angel Sarkodie one.
Yeah.
No, that one was heavy.
Was it really a Doomsaw?
Oh yeah, that one was heavy.
But that one, I think she dropped it before.
No.
And the other one that she was saying, auto fridge, a rice cooker, a Stonebwoy, and
But even in all, me say Asan and I be
Honestly, the conversation she's had so far, honestly, I'm highly disappointed by how she talk. Yeah, I'm highly disappointed.
Disappointed how?
I was waiting for her to say more, but Charlie.
Hey!
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Now, when I'm too hey, David. I shall move him in 24.
Oh, so you wanted her to put out more?
Can I say on no Sobeka? Yes, man.
What's
your mic? What's Sobeka? Enti Kasa. Enti when you can't dear so I arguing.
What
You should give bloggers news. That's what we expect.
But she's giving you enough.
What is the news? The ones people are coming out to rebut. The ones they are countering with. Trying.
Oh, but no matter whatever that she says, people will still come out and say she's lying. Like the same thing that she did against
that's what I'm saying.
Angel and
I believe
Sarkodie.
her conversation coming out to bring secret personal conversations as well. As
Still,
humans,
people
we should
will
have,
say that she's lying.
no, I make her say as humans we should have some sort of decorum, respect for ourselves. The moment I go personal and go to the extent of addressing even your kids' school fees, bro, you understand? Some of the conversations she brought out, Charlie, if this is the Doomsaw part, then I'm highly disappointed. You see, maybe I meant to for say Jayu, no. I mean, too for, especially if you are the other camp, and then they mean too. No. But if it is this camp behind there, I have wise word for you. But the other camp there, more fire.
Jamu, are we to expect more, or you think now she's done?
Oh, she's not done, but it may not be coming to Stonebwoy, but anybody at all can also.
They're going to quality.
Because she has done so much, she has so much connection that any little thing can trigger her. In fact, I saw a video that she was giving Zion Felix a warning.
Yeah.
I mean, for that one, I am on her side. I think she had every right to respond the way that she did. And my reason is that Zion Felix used her name to do a content that she didn't
like.
And she didn't do anything about that thing. I mean, Ashamodi in her submission never said say or ma Zion Felix say promote Stonebwoy against Shatawale.
Okay.
Or ka say or man is say promote Stonebwoy.
Oh, okay.
Zion Felix did the video saying say a man for say Ashamodi say. Meanwhile you have Ashamodi's contact.
And
If-
the videos too.
And the videos too are online. But Zion Felix never watched those videos too. In fact, in the video that she says that I somebody can say no cray na wa man is the video name Zion Felix can say I somebody and cancer. Oh, video ni muno or ye video for about 30 or so minutes. Say oh the headlines, the captions that he's seeing, Ashamodi didn't say that. But that was his caption to address the issue. Oh,
Clickbait.
and the Ashamodi who ye none the fool. And our my Zion Felix wanted to be to Africa as well.
Yeah, I saw that video.
So be to Africa as well. So for me, the fight will not end because some people somewhere will find a way to also tap in. And tapping no one tapping in here, obviously she will respond because this is her. Like she loves to do those things. That's why we are seeing her like
So you
that.
mean now?
So for me,
she loves Stonebwoy again.
oh, she lost Stonebwoy and at the same time, or she lost fight as well. She's been fighting.
Okay.
Or the Kakrafa, if you was nigga.
Yeah. In fact, I hear Monaguchi cross.
Monaguchi is Zion Felix Haji. And you know, okay, now one can ye.
Not our receipt.
One come and I da. You go collect.
Na obi obi amponza there.
Oh, Obi ntagi no ana obi.
I don't make her say.
People are
receipt.
mention her.
Oh yes. On the receipt.
But it is not onim angela obi amponsa di free ba.
So yeah, comedy.
Only the receipt. Only the receipt. On the receipt.
Why?
Oh, like why ye baby ama obi da.
Aisha Modi.
So
only the chat
Opa kota na tronse.
No, anya say wo anya no cry. Obi is a clear example.
Opa
Say only
kota.
Obi was chatter. Uncle is sudi
Me say opa kota.
The only reason he has not spoken about Obi, he doesn't even have a chat with Obi. Aisha Modi.
Okay.
So for me,
all right.
The fight against Stonebwoy or with Stonebwoy may cease.
Okay.
But her fight online there, I don't see it.
wash.
Okay. Ro, are you also seeing the end of the war for Ashamodi Stonebwoy or more to come?
There's no end.
Hey.
Oh, there's no end to it. It will come as at when she's ready to fire.
When there's a trigger.
Yes, when there's a trigger, when somebody comes to trigger her at that point, she will respond. But then doesn't mean that okay, she's okay in whatever she wanted to say. What I believe will happen will be that people will not pay attention to it like before. That is what will happen. Yeah, she may come, fire, call new people out and all of that, but will not get the same attention like the previous ones because yes, you've said it and like we all agree, some of the things are exaggerated. Some of the things people have also come to give their own versions to dilute whatever she said and all of that. So even if whatever she's saying or most of the things that she's saying is true, some people, because of the dilution that some people have brought into the picture, moving forward, it will be very difficult for her to get that serious attention when something comes up again, unless maybe the person that will be involved now would also be some person of interest.
Okay.
That would be it. Else, anybody can come and prick her like the way Monaguchi, because as somebody here, she never mentioned Ifeanyi Schwarzenegger. She never mentioned Monaguchi. But then, both of them found a way to enter into the conversation to give a shot at her. Then she replied them. She replied Ifeanyi Schwarzenegger like the following day. Ifeanyi did her video. The next one, Ayisha Modi replied right after Monaguchi show. She has come out to reply. It is not something that, and even with the Monaguchi one, it is not getting the same attention like that of Stonebwoy and stuff. Because in terms of persons of interest, Stonebwoy is more of a person of interest than Munaguchi. Okay. So unless moving forward, she goes at somebody that is also a person of interest, that may have some higher aura around the person. That is when people will give it. But even with this record, it will be difficult for her to still get that serious attention. Because as it stands, like you said, even Obi and Ponsa them and some people, my grandma Ebi, I tagged her. I tagged her when I made the post.
Did you get a response?
Because me trying to say, oh boy. Then yo, they are main trying.
Oh no, chat.
They are me no chat.
Long John Chen.
I have a chat with Ayisha Modi.
Okay.
Oh, and then
Ubi Sani.
Minini ni me say wagwa obi a. Wagwa me. Ayisha Modi.
No, did you chat him for something?
Oh, I know. And when you say Obebusa.
Ayisha Modi.
I said Stonebwoy.
God.
Allow Roland to go. Roland go.
Did you listen to the explanation Munaguchi gave? Munaguchi say some of the school fees material school fees. And you say one friend say oh me ba school fees about me to be tuya. Sometimes ebia ne baby ko school or the same school or Marco school. And maybe you see schools start using kitten. She happens to be there with you being absent. Oh, me tuya.
Why be amada?
Me. What boy me papa? Hey, you said that. Me. What boy me papa?
Oh, ground.
Na boy me cry. What boy Sammy flex boy me. Boy by association.
That's why she can't respond to you guys because only case with you guys.
I want you to understand that.
Why reply? Uncle, let's look at this. Why reply Munaguchi? Why reply Alaye? Why reply Wambium? Zion Felix. I don't mean as one more. What Zion Felix ni baby mama da? If you ask nigga. Now, only Obi. One chance.
Only reply. Because she knows that the direction na ye free ba e won common e different from what the others are doing. What the others are doing a direct conversation to whatever is going on.
Or who was comedian?
Oh, of course, we are making.
Roland, they are making fun of
it. It is just
but only said there are certain SM people who even wrote about it. He replied them.
Yeah.
What is the reason?
No, because
there's a relationship.
We're also fighting the Stonebwoy fight.
Yes.
They were fighting the Stonebwoy fight, but like Chemo is saying, what they are doing is not the Stonebwoy fight.
No.
I'm sure if she sees it, she also read and laugh. Like the way Obi say, whoever asks somebody has helped.
We should they say, reading comments now. So as it stands, the long journey was 7 days of Cornelia Buano. But just like Abna Koko's own. You see, it got to a point, if Abna Koko because will be a rimpa. It was not a hand news like that, and then you who sa unless it be a nipa nankasan aside that it will just be like that.
Well, another off-script story. Chabo, we have information now. Breaking news from Nigeria says that Osinachi's husband has been sentenced to death.
Yeah.
And being our in-house lawyer, we are all waiting for him to be hanged to death.
Yeah.
Others are saying, oh, he'll be hanged. Others are saying, oh, it is not directly translated as such.
Yeah.
What education or information can you share with us when we say someone has been sentenced to be hanged to death?
Yeah, I don't know the specific laws of Nigeria about hanging, but what I know is that when there's something like that, the president of the nation is supposed to sanction it. He should agree that yes, the punishment that the court is giving should go on.
Okay.
In this case,
and it's only the president who can.
It's only the president who can do this after the judgment. The president can give what they call pardon, but it should be in a certain context. But in this case, whatever the court has said, until there is a review of it, is supposed to stay.
Hold. Okay.
So yes, so what should happen now is that he's supposed, based on the time that they will give, then he will be hanged. But you see, when the sentence comes with the hanging, they don't give date because the president is supposed to sign. Mostly that's what is done. That's why they don't give time. Say, okay, in
on
3 months'
day,
time,
we're going to
execute.
Because I was reading the stories and I realized that even despite the hanging to death, there are other penalties.
Yes.
He's supposed to pay fine, serve this one for this. After the person is going to die, they'll fine. Wait, fine again.
I think
like 500,000 naira.
Why they do that is that you see, sometimes they can go for a review, or the lawyers or whoever can appeal. When they appeal, they have to fight all the different judgments against him. So let's say he will go for an appeal, and then the death sentence is now off. The other one, he will save it. But if the other ones are off, then the hanging is still there, then he will also save the hanging one. So until something happens, now the hanging one, it will be the total thing. Like it will take the supreme interest as against the other punishment. But until he's hanged, the other punishment also will hold.
Okay.
So yeah, we are waiting if I think it's more or less like the sentence that you are not going to come out of prison. Life sentence kind of. Yes. So for now, that's how we take it, because I've not seen any democratic government in this
sanction this before.
Will sanction this. Yeah, most of them did.
In Ghana, who has been giving this to?
Death sentence. Oh, I think I saw one. There's one guy in Tamale.
In Ghana, someone was giving it. Recently.
Yes. In Tamale,
but no president has signed.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, we have people on the death row. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there are people on death row. One guy the guy that was doing prison was interviewing the prisoners also. Yes, he did one and a tall list of people on death row.
Wow.
But the president is not ready to sign for them to get their full punishment. So sometimes they will just be...
Bro, I don't know if you knew about this. Would you consider this judgment as harsh or cruel?
Well, it will not be in my place. I think it will be very out of place for me to either say it is cruel or not. Because, you see, at the end of the day, he will...
Because I am looking at men and women issues. Anytime it goes out, if you are a man, you are likely to lose 100%.
Of course.
In fact, we all might not know what the lady has been doing to provoke him to beat her and all those things.
Exactly my point.
But we want to believe, okay, they've done the good investigation and out of it, they are saying this is it. That's what I'm asking. Do we see this as very harsh?
Well, I agree with you. But then again, I will not also be quick to say whether it is harsh or not. Because you see, as much as sometimes I may agree that, Charlie, some women can be very provocative. Hey, they are devils in makeups. Like, they will provoke you to the highest. And just brief on them. And you are done. Your life is
Recently,
gone.
that video we saw from, is it Finland? That lady who was beating some man.
Yes, their children.
Yeah.
Yet, our women seems to not have any problem.
I'm sure it's a mistake born because every day he beats me.
Yes, that was it. That would have been it. So for me, I think I would want to give the authorities the benefit of the doubt and say maybe they did a good investigation. Because at this point, yes, a life has been lost and another life is hanging on a balance. It's hanging on a thread to also be squashed away. So at this point, they would want to give those people who investigated or sat on this whole conversation the benefit of the doubt and think that maybe they did a good thing, because it will take a lot for you to put somebody's life on the line. Yes, there are some people. I read a footballer yesterday who was caught like driving recklessly and was sentenced 14 months in prison. The person that he hit, the person had passed on. Yes, but was given 14 months because they had to assess the whole scenario, the incident and everything, and they thought he deserved that 14 months. In that aspect, I wouldn't say it is harsh or not. But this one, for you to go to the full length of the law, because this is corporal punishment, and you are putting somebody's Charlie.
And the case has been running for 3 years.
For 3 solid years. Where much men all have been coming out to say when they are there, then the dead bodies will be singing. Now the dead body, I'm sure, will rest
Oh,
in
this
peace.
time they-
Will stop singing. But on a more serious note, I
Man, I'm kahon here.
they are the
How many last story about Nigeria? Sentence in Amado.
For death row there are people on there, and
All
like
right.
Chemo said, in our current dispensation there, president best sign there.
Long John, do you want to bite some? Why you didn't know about this issue, eh?
I knew about it, but I didn't know this was the particular story.
Ah,
so
okay.
early on, when you spoke about it, I didn't get the clarity. But later, I saw it on graphic showbiz or something.
Okay.
Online.
Yeah.
Then I realized that was the story. But I gave it a read, and I think if per what I remember that case very well when it happened, and I was even shocked. It's already 3 years because it happened like yesterday.
Yeah.
When the video was circulating,
2022.
you see, if the videos we didn't see, okay, I don't know the videos you guys saw, but I saw more than one video.
Okay.
If the videos that circulated is exactly what happened, I think death by hanging is even small. Yeah. If
Oh,
the
you saw
videos-
some of the attacks.
Yeah, there were videos to different forms. And you see, when I read the story, there were like 15 people who were witnesses to the case in court.
Yes.
2 were his children, and none of them spoke on his behalf.
Of course.
One thing we should understand is, say asem si na ohia no kwafo a na akola wo ha. Bisa akola.
I doubt. I disagree.
Let me show you.
Long John,
Let me show you
forget
something.
that thing.
Let me show you something. No matter what the child will say, even if he or she is quiet, when it reach those formal places that they need to extract answers, great and fear can cause these children to say what they know.
Not all children.
Not everybody.
Oh,
That
God.
one there, I cannot.
But it can't be
There
all
are so
children.
many
Yeah.
examples.
Yes.
But allow you to go.
You see,
it
so
can't
many
be all
years.
children.
You see, especially when you have a case of this sort in court, and not even one witness is in your favor. What did they gonna say? One witness is not in your favor.
But who called the witnesses?
No,
The witnesses were called from the
and I'm not sure he will not be allowed to get call his own witnesses.
Of course.
Yes.
He will be
So if you have a witness, call him and let. So how come you never had anybody to defend you? It has been running for 3 years.
Oh, definitely. Some people come to defend, but you know,
What I say?
the court will not be satisfied with their
what-
defense.
With their defense.
Based on the narration, it is
Exactly.
what Kuku story, but it will work. You understand? Because in this case, there are video evidences where you slap the woman like a child, even at the point where the child confronted you. They were videoing. I still remember this thing like yesterday. They were videoing, and one of the child confronted you. You start hitting the child too. You see, so if all this in Yamawa, then you want to tell me that I think they are even being lenient to the
Hey.
hanging. Yes, I'm being honest.
And then be
Yeah, either electrocution and how you should
Nah,
go through
nah,
what?
nah.
No, you see, something I don't understand. Why would you do this to your fellow human being? What then kwan or why I want to kill you. You see, sometimes you understand what goes to be human being, and I'll beat you. I'll beat you. Then until only obinya issue, can't you look for a human or how just free way? Exit the place. Now you go to the extent of beating the person till they die. And what shows that the person is dead is who beat is nearly to the death. That is why my position
But
is.
a report says that the very last beating that led to her death, he kicked her chest.
Charlie, I can't.
Also
Charlie.
the boho there.
And you see, she's a female.
Of course.
Look at the man.
You deaf. You know come
You
back.
understand? And for 3 years, this case has been. So meaning they were even trying to find good way to make sure they. If you look at the other, I'm glad you even read wide on the details of the case, because if you look at the other sentences, you realize that they were even being lenient. Some 3 years.
Yeah.
The maximum was like 4 or 3 years for the rest of the cases. The maximum of, and then 500,000 naira.
Nah.
It's not even 1 million naira.
David.
You understand? So
When I was reading, I thought I was even reading wrongly.
yes, which I was shocked. None of them passed even 5 years.
It's because of the charges.
Yeah,
for that
the count.
thing.
The count.
it's
Of course, but
different.
I'm sure those were the minimum, not the maximum sentence.
No, they
For
will
the charges,
definitely
yeah,
be.
of course.
Those ones. Those were minimum.
Oh, some
3 years, 2
some
years.
can even be maximum, but depending on the charge and the count,
Yeah, the count on it.
the count on the charge.
Well, we pray that whoever does wrong will get the necessary punishment that
That's all,
he or she deserves. So, if you do wrong and you get it like this, you can only be grateful to God for giving you what you were looking for. And that is what I think we have to say finally, so we can all run away from this. But it is also a cue to all men. It is a warning to all men. The moment you make up your mind to live with a woman, dear, I beg. You are being ready.
Anything fight.
Be ready that one day she will fool. In fact, if you are not lucky, Krana, you are not above her crying a wolf. In fact, if you are not the one calling the shots at home, I know there was a mere mobile.
Sorry, in advance.
But if you are the one calling the shots, the issues will come by to be intermittently. But if you are the one, she goes and come and give you, hey, you will suffer for
mommy,
long.
don't go. Mommy, don't go.
Well, I've also seen, I just saw a video or a photo that our Vice President, Nana Jane, is back to office. Now she's fine. Yeah, some prophets put out prophecies that she might not make it and all that. Yeah, but I saw a photo that she's been welcome back to the office.
But she's over 70 years. I'm just telling the prophet. I'm telling the prophet.
The prophet.
Oh God.
Meaning that she can die easily and it's nothing.
The probability of her
Wow.
dying
It's
from
high.
any other
It's
thing
high.
is high.
Now people are dying 24, 34 over sicknesses. It do to me today, the kind of world we are living, the kind of lifestyle, and only 50 years. If you bless it,
What do you cry to?
lifestyle. Lifestyle, like we are living poor lifestyle. So,
Emu red.
Yeah, person with 17, 80 years. So yes, we pray for her life too. Now, let's come back to one critical issue. It's about Bimbo. That's the lady's name from Nigeria. Bimbo Ademole. Do you know, interestingly, my first time paying attention to her movies was when we went to Akosombo.
I see.
Interestingly, this one there. So when I came and I saw her, I said, this is the woman whose movie I watched. I think I watched one of her movies called Love in Transit. Was at Akoso, but that was the movie I watched. Love in Transit.
Mafia manager.
Yeah, man.
In love.
So when I came back and I saw it, I said, I just watched that movie. That was just a coincidence. Now, her issue has taken different twists and turns. I hear last Saturday on UTV, there are still some people who think that what she is doing is publicity stunt. That is number one. Now, Kafu Danku, who is the Film Federation, NFA, National Film Authority boss, is also saying that they are going to even revoke licenses of television stations and all. And Francis Doku, who is one guy who leads radio and TV conversations in Ghana, is saying, hey, NFA. Relax. I relax. That's somebody. You don't have power to revoke anybody's license. Please think about another way to handle it. You don't have any power to revoke licenses. I would want to read someone or two and ask if the NFA, if they have a solution to this, because it looks like they don't even have a solution. The way things are going, looks like solution economy. So let's go straight to Francis Doku and what he is saying and his caution to the NFA and all the matters arising. Can we read? Okay, let's read. It says Francis Doku actually saw a headline that says NFA to revoke licenses of TV stations airing content without authorization. And when he saw that, he could not keep his ink by his side. He had to write. He says, for the sake of public education, let me touch on a few things. Number one, TV stations don't operate with or under license. They do so under authorization. The NSA issues spectrum license to telcos and authorization to operate to broadcast radio or TV companies. The NFA doesn't license or authorize TV stations. It is not clothed with that mandate. Summary: you cannot revoke a license that does not exist and you did not issue. And it says piracy is a real challenge in a jurisdiction where people give very little or no respect for intellectual property. However, there are more ways the NFA can work with other state agencies and JIBA and the television stations to curb piracy, but license revocation is not one of them. Thank you. And you go online. In fact, NFA has also released a press statement. And in the press statement, in fact, they are also saying the same thing. They want to work and they want to make sure all those they are going to deal with. I'm asking, do they really have a solution? Chabo, maybe I'll start this with you. Do they really have the solution? NFA.
It's difficult. The NFA can work with other agencies so that they can help. I mean, getting a total solution, it will be a difficult thing. In fact, that's why I always quote Thomas so saying that you don't have a solution but trade-offs. Because if you give them power too much, like look at the way NFA they were coming in, at the point that you are even threatening to revoke licenses, whilst you don't have the power to do it. I don't know if she didn't look at the mandate of the NFA or what, but when you read their presser, you will see that she wasn't so direct about that thing. She said that they will work with the appropriate authorities or agencies to even the extent that they can revoke licenses of some broadcasting network. I think that's not the solution here. The solution for them or what they can do is that they try to enforce the laws. Like she was quoting the Copyright Act 2005. Yes, they can enforce the law and punish certain television stations or radio stations who will infringe on others' rights.
Right, yeah.
Yes, I think she has the power to help do that, but she cannot revoke anybody's license. Like Francis Doku is saying. You see, from I think yesterday, from Saturday, Sunday, I was thinking about headlines. In fact, I wanted to write something about headlines and captions.
Okay.
And my working title was "Don't Go with the Headline." That was my working title. I started writing it, but I got to a point that now I don't know. And you see, when Francis Doku, I'm not sure he has read the main presser. In the main presser, Kafu Danko, yes, hint on revoking licenses, but it was more in the line of I'll work with the appropriate authority to do that. But you see, the headline was so explicit.
Yes.
Like NFA will revoke licenses, but they don't have the power. So for me, I think Francis Doku went with the headline instead of going with the main substance. I mean, he can still address the issue the way that he did, but I was expecting that he will reference the main presser, and say that, well, you can work with appropriate authority, which may lead to revoking license, but you don't have the power to do that, like the headline is saying. So for me, I think the headline was also a bit misleading compared to what was in the presser, because she wasn't so straightforward with the revocation of the licenses. And again, yes, they don't have that power. Can they work out something? Yes, they can work out something if other agencies are willing to help, including even police. Because if somebody is infringing, any television station is doing that, what you can do is that you report it, get an order, and then police will go there and take whatever action that they need to take. So even if after getting whatever, and then you go and report it to the police and they say, oh, this is not a case of interest, we are doing something else. So other agencies should work. I think it is a wake-up call for all the agencies who are supposed to protect intellectual properties. They should be working. That's why, well, sometimes we say that government agencies or those who are working in government institutions, they are not so proactive. Because whether they protect your copyright or not, they will get paid.
Yeah.
So copyright, yeah, infringes, found they will get paid. Look at the narration that the guy going against Sarko they give. Or they call copyright or man vino.
Yeah.
That's why he took it to court. Meanwhile, we have copyright office. We have people working there. We have people who get their salary for that job. They don't do it, but they get paid. So that the problem goes beyond Kafui Danku and what she can do. But I think it's a good initiative that she's given. She should rather be focusing on getting the appropriate authority to act instead of just coming out with presses and all those things. Because the way that she said it, I'm not surprised that she will get a response
like that.
That from Francis Doku. Yes, to tell her, say, Asamba, yeah.
Well, Ro, come through. Do you also see them having the solution? Because, do you know, I was shocked that with all the noise and the conversations around it, they have not been able to put out one television station that is guilty of this crime.
Oh, Daily View.
Oh, Daily View, Daily TV.
Daily TV.
Daily TV.
Who put the name out?
Oh,
This is what people are seeing.
Yeah.
No,
official.
So I'm saying that. So I'm saying that with those who are reporting and trying to make this conversation official, which station have they put out that this particular station is guilty?
Okay,
of
so
the
for what I know, some lady, I'm friend saying the other one
with Kadiri.
With Kadiri, she made a list of about 10 television stations that were involved in this. And she presented it to the authorities, the Copyright Office of Ghana. She did. Among others, including Juliet Ibrahim, our very own Juliet Ibrahim herself, has been a victim of the same act. Okay. And she has come out to complain before. She herself, who is even a Ghanaian, has come out to complain about this. So, for me,
but
saying
they come out and they are looking for witness, I can witness to the Daily TV thing. I've seen it.
Just yesterday. No, just yesterday. Miss Debbie, who was even going against Bimo, did a video like of her television station, and it was on Daily TV showing Nigerian movie. Yes, just yesterday. The video is on her page on Facebook.
Daily TV.
Yeah, Daily TV. Omo ye gangeli asa.
Omo ye pa.
Omo de.
Evi logo ni kra bo ma no.
Omo ye piracy. Omo ye piracy.
Asa me call for it. Babi am call Jimmy. Omo so na me call sa mo yi mu.
Asa ye piracy.
Ade ni bom na anti mo ade am yi kra.
Yeah. You see, for me, I'll be very surprised. Like I would have been very surprised if Kafui Danku gave 5 solutions bang to this conversation. I would have been very surprised because where we are coming from, we are not proactive, or we are reactive. Things come and we rather react to it than to be proactive and say, okay, we anticipate some of these things might happen, so let's put some measures in place so that when it happens, we will be able to hold it. For me, she's speaking, and for so far, the conversation from her side has been good. Okay. Even if they will not be able to do anything substantial, like we've seen, because this is not the first time we are having this conversation. Even if they will not be able to do anything proper to it, at least the initial conversation itself will give some form of assurance and calmness to the people who are now victims in this conversation. Okay. And the people who are calling them out to say they are doing this for publicity stunts there. I am him time. I am him time combined, because I am asking myself, so okay, publicity stands for what? For what?
To gain what?
To gain what? If the person doesn't have the numbers, then that oneself, we will still would have to look into it properly before we can even accept it as a publicity stunt. Has the crime not been committed? If it has been committed, then what are you using the excess for? Because these are secondary conversations. These are secondary conversations. The Bimo Ademoye, go on her YouTube page and go and check her numbers. Crazy numbers.
Over 3 million.
So she's going to, yes, publicity stunt. It is part of the conversation. But who allowed her to get that kind of leverage? Who gave her that kind of leverage? It is your own people that gave her that leverage. If they have not committed the crime would she have come out to call them out? Never. The people whose materials have not been used, have you seen any of them come out? No. Kanayo is also a movie producer, has been producing films currently, and they are all on YouTube. Have you seen him coming out to complain? No, because he has not seen his product being used in that manner. You understand? So they will not come. But when they come and complain about some injustice that is being done to them, then you are calling it publicity stand. How? How? For me, so far, like Chemo said, when I also saw the headline of, hey, NFA said they are going to revoke license of TV, I was like, eh? Since when? Since when? And we've been suffering like this. And our Bosomaji TV so far, and NFA is there. And our Conforne Bosomaji TV so far. Oh no. So I read into it and I realized no, they didn't have the power. And into details, when I saw the fact that, okay, you were going to work with appropriate authorities, I was like, okay, cool. That is if those authorities or those agencies are also ready to cooperate with him.
Exactly.
Because sometimes that is where the real challenge is. You see, Kafu Dango and the people, they may be ready to go to the full length to get justice for people, including protecting some of our own people here in the space who are filmmakers. But then, how would those agencies that they are supposed to cooperate with, National Communication Agency and all authority and all those people, how are they willing and ready to cooperate with them? That is where the challenge is. Because you remember when these Akonfor, Fetish Breast and stuff took over our television stations and they were doing, it did not take the NFA to come. We were in this country when they were talking about sensitization and sensitizing movies and stuff. When they brought it, giddy, where did it go? Where did it go?
You mean censorship?
Censorship and classification of movies. Yes, where did it go? It was just for some 2 weeks conversation. Oh, we were going to cooperate with the National Communication Authority and do this, do that, do this, do that. At the end of the day, this was also from the NFA through, and it was supposed to go through the NCA through to these TV stations and radio stations. How did that chain materialize? We did not see anything apart from the conversation that was held. So for me, if not for anything at all, at least they were mentioned. This one, they cannot say they did not see it because they were called direct. They were attacked direct. So they had to respond. And no more responding. I just hope that the other agencies that are supposed to help them fight this particular thing will do it. Because piracy there, if we are not able to solve it, it will not be a big deal like that. Because even elsewhere, it is even a problem. I mean, on the lighter side, Bimo is even crying. Charlie, you mailing?
No.
They show mailing
Every day.
Movies come fresh on Netflix and they are showing it on Ghanaian TV stations. Charlie, and you ask yourself, say, where did you get this authority from? But it is what it is. So piracy there, it has been a huge challenge. But then, it doesn't mean we should also allow ourselves for people to misbehave.
Okay, let me go on to Long John finally on the NFA and their power to revoke licenses of offending television stations showing unauthorized or unapproved videos or films from other producers. Long John, talk to me.
I mean, I believe the NFA response was out of emotions. If not, or probably a PR gimmick to, get the Nigerian lady
satisfied.
Calm, because I mean, you should know your authority and where your power ends. To say outright that you are going to revoke people's license, sanity and Kagane stations will break too. We all know how this power balance have been causing problem in our media space, and they're party for bar. Then they want to show, So I don't think it will really hold if this conversation of revoking powers is followed by people in NFA, National Film Authority. So I think it's a good call. Our senior most, Francis Doku, had to actually step on a toe, to make a know you are trying to be more than what you are. So relax. And it's also a good call. NFA themselves had to make the world know they are now aware of something like this. But you see, like he said, Roland said, there was a conversation in there. Them asking they should bring out the name of the TV stations. Are they trying to tell us that they don't have TVs that monitor all these conversations? You see, this is one of the
You mean
problems.
the authority?
Yeah, the authorities. This is one of the things. I don't know. NFA knows it's about what? Films.
Yeah.
So definitely you should have a place that you monitor all these things on all channels. Even sister stations monitor other sister stations in their station. So you the one in charge of all stations, only monitoring, if I'm saying, office be among the monitor Ghanaian stations in here. You see, it's very strange. But then again, I also want to believe because it's a growing office. So probably they are still learning
Putting
and
themselves together,
putting
yeah.
themselves together. But yeah, piracy is a very serious case in copyright. That's in Ghana. Charlie, to talk about it, it's not easy because some of us we even sit on channels that do that.
You know, right?
You sit in there, you really realize their station have been having a lot of
Your channels are guilty.
yeah. So you really can't say much because in the end, most people are corporates who are very close to you. So I just believe
You can't sell out.
Yeah, I just believe they should find an amicable way of trying to handle this kind of issues. But yes, if a director should come out and then speak to an issue of this sort, people shouldn't try to flex their muscle.
Okay.
Because that is their hard work. They deserve to cry out. You understand? You don't try to make them feel like no. You see, when we try to instigate this kind of things, then the person decides to go full length of the law, then you start calling them names. Where they need to thing. You see, this I don't think this thing would have escalated if Miss Debbie wouldn't have put out that video.
Oh no, that one. She was just an outsider doing her thing.
That is outside.
Her actions do not impact on any.
Yes, but it got to the woman too. That reply got to the woman.
Yeah.
You understand? That was too much of a loose talk. You understand? So, Obi Bout ebe complaining. It's hard work. You shot your own movie, and I was a witness. The stress you went through, everything, including publicity. Then imagine you just wake up one day and say, Jenny TVB. Hey. You understand? Without right process being done. I mean, you feel some way. So yes, I think people should respect people's works and also accord their works with respect because it's not easy to assemble a whole creative mind and get people to work on it. So I believe it's a good call. And going forward, they should also know their strength and their weakness. Maybe your friend is I don't know. I think this is the official government position, right?
Yeah.
And so I think she should learn on the job.
Yeah.
Ghanaians should spare her for some of her mistakes because I think this is just the beginning. They should tell them that she's a newcomer.
That's why you have to be careful before you put out.
Yeah, and I think she should consult.
At this stage, don't rush to appear just
because
anywhere
I even wanted to say this. She should. I think the right thing she should have done is try to get in touch personally with the parties involved before anything come out. But I think she was trying to, bring down the drama, the social media drama between both parties. So she had to put something out. But next time, I believe going forward, she should try to consult and see how she can work it behind closed doors before bringing anything out. That way, she wouldn't have to goof and then, out of emotion, say a lot of things.
I do not own the copyright. The right it is for
public domain.
it is in the public domain and it is for promotional
and education.
Well, let's do this finally to run away from
We'll do
here.
a special
And
one for them.
I'm going to ask Roland to start this topic. For me, whilst we're going to Nigeria over the weekend, there was Headies, and in Nigeria, we have seen some stories trending. When it comes to awards, especially on the day of the event, winners and how they react, should we be so stiff on them, knowing the emotions that come with it, knowing the ecstasy, the excitement that come with it? There's a video of Odumodu Black who won an award for, what's his category again?
New act. It's something new. Let me verify.
Okay.
Rising Star or something.
Yeah, Rising Star. That's the name of their category.
Yeah, like a category that suggests that the guys who
artists.
just came. Yeah, the new guys who just came. And in his remarks on the stage, oh my goodness, this guy wouldn't finish. All the squad that he brought onto the stage, he had to mention all of them, their names, his mom, and now when he really wanted to read his thanks, then the people said, "Oh, Odumodu, it is enough. Your time is up." Gentleman did not understand. He did not even want to leave the stage. He stood there till they gave him some other time to complete the whole thing. In fact, it started rolling the next category to even present.
Next rated.
Yes.
Next rated.
Category.
Yeah, next.
Whilst he was on the stage, they started rolling the next category to mention. But the guy said he won't go. In fact, at a point, he was even reading into the crowd, but nobody was hearing him. Some people think that when it comes to awards on such occasions, we should allow the people to just express their emotions.
Sure.
It is normal. Others are also saying that no, it should be something of discipline. Let's watch how it happened. When I come back, we'll be wrapping up with my people.
Yo. Oh my God. APJ City in the house, baby. I didn't want to show my girlfriend this speech. If not, she would have changed some things. First of all, I want to give glory to God. I want to give glory to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I want to thank my mommy. Hey, I want to thank my mommy. My mommy gave birth to me at the age of 39 when there was no hope. I'm my only child. I'm a covenant's child. We are not standing here, one house please. We are not standing here by our power. We are not standing here by my might. Before my mother gave birth to me, she told God that if you give me a child, I'll become a pastor. It was as of that result that I'm here. So all these things that are happening here is none of us power. It's beyond us. So let me read my speech for everybody. Say, yeah. First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank you, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, my beautiful mommy. Make some noise to my mommy. All my other mommies at home, in diaspora. My amazing girlfriend who's probably losing her mind right now. Hey, yeah. My daddy, Obi Kubana. Forget Elon Musk. That's my daddy. All my friends on stage, replay. That's Dex, came all the way from London. That's my boss, TZ. Hey, where Chops Day? Hey, Maxino, Abbas, UC, Patio, Fatboy E, Aguna Bueze, Shaba, Camo, Shawls, Monopi, Ade. We came all the way from ABJ60, Crucifixo. Make some noise, boys! Cheers! Thank you. This is for all the people who have hope. And most especially, my Katakata Rangers, I see you people. Native Records, Def Jam, Kalashos, Fiola, I love you. At a time like this, we have to critically analyze the power of God and the promises that come with believing in Jesus Christ.
OD, you have 30 seconds. Yeah.
Against all odds, I have pushed against so many barriers like this. couple years back, there were so many feelings we could not express through our music. The world will clamp us down mercilessly. Small talk from far and wide. Most especially, you can't be this, or you can't speak like this, or you can't do this, you can't release music in this way. Today, me standing here is a proof that all those things are fallacy. And it could only have been possible through my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who has stood for me through thick and thin. The most powerful guy. Tonight, God has shown that God reigns. Tonight, he has shown that nobody is above the law of the machine. The machine is coming and it will arrive in one piece. And yes, they were asking, if I didn't win, what would I have done? I guess we'll never know!
Okay, next rated Roland. That's it, eh? What do you think? You have been doing more events, producing events. You just produced Lex's comedy show and other shows that you have produced. Should we allow such people some room to express themselves, because it's an emotional thing, or you have to still bring on the discipline cloth whilst you are on that stage?
It will be a disaster to allow everybody to do what they please on stage.
But do you also give them specific time? Like, okay, when you win and you go on the stage, you have, say, 45 seconds.
Of course.
Did they give them time like that?
Of course, they do.
You sure?
You see, just that on a day, what
I have not heard anybody give it
well,
like that.
that's what I'm saying.
They rather give to maybe those who are going to present
the awards.
Not even the awards present, even presenters, like on the day of the show, the MCs and the presenters. Those are the people that they telecue them and all
You
those.
see, that is the mistake that most event producers do. Because with whatever you are doing as an event producer, there is time to it. So you don't just allow anybody to do anything. Yes, some people may come, go off script, but it is still your duty as the main producer and the stage manager to still keep it in check. That is why, regardless of any time that you give any act, you are sometimes supposed to give some form of extra time. Those extra times, you don't tell them. But it is within your production lineup, your production plan, to know that, okay, every act that, or everybody that's supposed to come on stage to present an award has this level of minutes to do it.
To spend, yeah.
To spend. Anybody that is supposed to receive an award also has this number of minutes to spend. And mostly, it is done everywhere. It is professionally done. Or you are supposed to do it as a professional by telling the person that this is it. Normally, when emails or communications are sent to everybody or any party or anybody that is invited, or the person who is coming to play a special role, and here, since it's an awards event, somebody presenting an award, the host or whoever, you are supposed to let the person know the time that he or she has on stage.
Okay.
You don't just leave anybody just like that for them to do it. I think what went against the Headies was out of the fact that they started the event late. And mostly when it happens, everything, if care is not taken, everybody would also think they have the right to do anything. Besides, you've also wasted their time. So they also feel they also have that right to do what they want. That is why Odumodu Black also wanted to do what he did on stage. And for me, I was so pissed. Of course, I can just imagine the producers of the show at that time, how they were boiling backstage. Because the person that off the mic and started rolling the next award category, I can just imagine the kind of, like, how they were able to tell him, come in, that, oh, you let him finish, let him finish.
Boys vex.
I can just imagine. Because sometimes it takes away the beauty of the show. Because in everything that you do, there is time to it. What if, you see, that has always been one of our problems. Yes, we would want to compare whatever we are doing to certain schemes,
Standards,
certain standards. But you look at them or you watch them and we may think they are going off script. Forget, they are not. They are not going off script too. You see somebody come on stage on Grammys or at BET, coming to give shout out to their mom, their dad or whoever. They are timed. They tell them.
In fact, the speech was even reviewed.
Yes.
Before
some of the speeches you would have to bring them for them to, yes.
To see what
even if you are a nominee, yes, they will not tell you whether you are the winner or not, unless maybe it's an honorary award. That is when they might tell you before the event day. But if you are a nominee, and they send you those communications, they are supposed to give you all those details. So that when you come, or when you come and you are mentioned as a winner and you get on stage, you know within a time frame that you are supposed to do this. So if the managers or the stage managers or the producers of the show don't, because they also faulted in a certain conversation, then this is what we are going to have. For me, it was very bad. It was very bad. I've seen headlines with some people trying to twist the whole conversation to say because he was mentioning Jesus. Come on. Which kind of baller headline is that? Because he was mentioning Jesus. Unless they did not watch, like, when he went on stage to collect the thing.
I think that's why he said that he has started talking about God and they want to...
Yes.
What?
He started talking about God the very minute he took the plaque. And that was when he started talking about God. Talking about how his mother... He even started a conversation on how his mother conceived him at the age of 30-something, whether 39 or so. And he being the only child. And the mother, him being a covenant child as well. And the mother promising God that if God gives her a child, she, like the woman, is going to turn into a pastor. You said all these things on stage. So how would you now come and change like the whole conversation and say, because you started mentioning Jesus? If it was with God and Jesus, if it was with God and Jesus, from the beginning of your speech, they would have cut you. They would have cut you from the beginning of your speech. But you spent a whole 3 minutes or so talking, giving shout out to your people and all of that on stage. About 10 or 15 people that came with you on stage. You mentioned everybody's name, roll call. And after, now it is now that you are now going to read the speech that you prepared yourself. Come on. Well, what kind of wickedness is that? But on a brighter side, I would also say congratulations to Davido. I think he won the Artist of the Year. Yes, on the night. He won the Artist of the Year on the night. And Dance God Lloyd and his team were also invited to also grace the occasion. So congratulations to them.
Well, so Roland, who is an event promoter or producer, thinks that no, don't give them room to come and show any emotions. Be disciplined. Come and deliver what you're supposed to deliver. And leave the stage. Let's continue with our production. Chamo, what do you also think about this?
Yeah, of course. If you give them room to do whatever they want to do, I can bet like we won't get to the end of the program.
Okay.
Something will happen that you just have to stop the program. If you give them room to do whatever they like. In fact, the first mistake was allowing him to come with on stage with
too many people.
There were too many people. I think they should learn something from what happened to Ghana and what they did after that. I remember after Shatawale and Stonebwoy's incident, Charterhouse came out.
They have limited the number of people.
Number of people that can be on stage. They have told them if you get any award and you are coming on stage, you are coming with only 2 or 3 people. I think that's what they said. And Headies, I think they should learn from that thing. You can't just allow anybody at all to come on stage because they are coming with the winner. No.
Next rated.
It shouldn't be like that. And I think it is part of the reason why he was so bold to even decide not to go.
Yes, because he had support.
He had a lot of people on stage. How are you going to remove him from the stage? It's part of it.
He had all these people behind him.
Yes, and he was also not, if people will say that they disrespected him, I think he disrespected them first. He wasn't of any respect to them. When they started playing the song, he said, hey, I'm talking about God, I don't need this. Who is
the one playing the sound?
Who are you to other people who have organized their show that they want to honor you? And then you are there commanding them how to go about things. I think people should spare us with the he was talking about God and all those things. If he wants to be a preacher man, he can start a church. It will help him. And he should He sings about secular stuff and he wants to be a preacher man in an event.
He can do it.
Oh,
Please
come
don't
on.
go there.
It's so contradictory to what the Bible says.
yeah.
I think they should preach whatever that they do.
I'm sure he was doing that to impress the mother.
Yeah, of course, and it was obvious, and he couldn't plan it well to execute it well. So for me, I think they did the right thing. Just that, like Roland said, if you even started the whole thing late, you were not following your time. Why are you going to preach somebody to follow time or do what you want them to do? I mean, it will be an issue. The whole thing is that he felt that, okay, you delayed the whole program.
Okay.
So I am entitled to also delay you small. And again, I have a whole lot of people on stage. You can't just come and take me out. So I will stay and do whatever I want to do before I leave. So for me, I think organizers made a huge mistake. I will not fault them for the act of cutting the mic so that he will leave. But I will fault them for even allowing that number of people on stage. It was wrong in the first place. That's why you have that audacity to do whatever he wants to do. So organizers should learn from this and not allow many people to come on stage like that just to take an award. They shouldn't allow it, and I think they should learn from it. I mean, sometimes some of these things will happen. You just have to learn from it, and next time you do better.
Okay, Long John, close the show for us about Odumodu Black's behavior, whether it should be one of discipline or emotions.
Odumodu Black. I believe what he went to do on that stage is a typical example of the rap he has been feeding us with. Very frustrating.
No.
You give me the...
No,
platform.
that's not a fair comment.
Oh, it's not fair.
Do you know I've met someone who has told me that his favorite artist is Odumodu Black?
No.
Yes,
Wow,
there's some guy like that.
Hey! Uncle, no.
Oh, so who are those listening to you?
Oh no, there are people who
So who are those listening
there are
to you?
people who love the
Uncle, so you know the
frustration.
people listen for... who listen to Abdulkuman analyst?
Me, I listen to
For the comedy, you see, they are...
Allow him
no, you see, let me
because
finish.
walk from-
Yes,
Allow
you
him.
see... Yes, let me show you something.
Allow him.
You see, that guy has been a problem right from the beginning of his raps. That is where the problem started. So, Headies should have understood the assignment they were putting him on. And they should have read into what... Because what I see with what he did, he wanted to make a headline out of just the plate he was going to take. That's what he wanted to do. But unfortunately for him, now that headline has changed to favor Headies. Because now it is Headies that is being discussed and not him.
Oh, so he wanted to cause them.
Yes. So what he wanted to do, you see the storyline he was giving. At the end of the day, people will now focus on that storyline. That, hey, now, Odumodu, Pastor says, but now the storyline has changed into, why did you treat him like that? So now there's little or no focus on the details of what he was saying in the submission.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
And bringing a whole community on stage, I mean, the professionals have said it. They've said it all.
The professional.
You won't understand why. You see, if you look at the Headies very well, from time immemorial, their organization has been one of
they've been suffering.
baddest.
They'll be suffering.
Charlie, you won't understand where the problem is. Because financially, too, they are there.
They are there. Yeah.
They give money to winners. They give cars at some point. Not any type of car. The last year or last 2 years, for instance, they gave a Bentley or some heavy car. Fresh. You understand? They are way ahead of TGMA financially. But the organizer gives TGMA a serious thumbs up. It seems the organization that Headies Ankasa, it looks more like the current state of Nigeria, the Nigerian country. Oh yeah, I'm being honest. In all uniqueness,
I like it.
Okay.
in all uniqueness of the Headies, you understand that their organization looks just like the way Nigeria is currently.
I like it.
Because as a BBS, so everything is not, it's not well like structured.
Yeah. In fact, I saw yesterday someone also made a post that we sit here and we critique TGMA, and that we should look
They
at
are making TGMA look like Grammys.
Yeah.
But then again, too, I wouldn't fault them too much because I think they are 17 years in the game.
Yeah, 17.
So
But 17 is too.
they are teenagers. So
No,
we can
but
pardon them.
17, you are.
They are teenagers.
You are old enough.
You see, for
to
instance,
know your left from your right.
I don't know if the organizers learn because they should have seen the Ghanaian escapade in 2019. And they should have been able to cover this.
Yes.
I don't know what they do as organizers. I don't know if it's the money that they only need. Because
The money they here.
if it was Ghana, when we sit to your country, we are covering our own. We are covering our nyash. Make sure that thing doesn't happen. So I believe this will be a wake-up call for them. Now they will now set boundaries on all these things. And you see, they should also understand one thing. Odumodu Black, he's like Raskuku.
Hey. This one, I don't like it. Hey, it's like what
do you mean?
Dude, that is the question. That is what I wanted you to ask me.
What do you mean?
Meaning,
You see, when these people take plaques, the world must know, foundation must change.
it's true.
They won't allow you to breathe because they know it is their first.
At last.
How it happened for them to get it? Because let's put everything aside. Do you know Charlie Poppy had a problem with somebody will win award. It's criticizing the organizer for giving him that award.
Of course, Charlie Poppy won best rapper.
I think he is not the one.
No, me before I saw his tweet, I'm like, Nigeria, rapper, Charlie Poppy, and Odumodu Black. Oh, how?
Wow! Nigerian music industry.
We can dash you out.
Best rapper, Charlie Poppy.
No, the guy has even come out to say.
They can't. How can you accept it? Somebody who accepts it, he does poems.
Yeah.
You think he doesn't know his category?
Yeah.
Best poem of the what is rapper?
But how come on the stage he wasn't given the trophy yet?
Is it?
He wasn't given the
He
trophy.
didn't even go.
Oh, that
One call or no more one call.
So it was someone else.
Charlie no go.
Oh, okay.
But
Best rapper.
by not giving him a plaque there, that one is they can find some
excuses.
Some excuse
But,
for it.
hey,
because-
Charlie Poppy best rapper. It shows that you see. That's what you see when I say it. Then you say I'm insulting.
If Abdulkuman goes to Nigeria, he will win best rapper for like 5 years.
Because for Charlie Poppy to win best rapper in the whole Nigeria has all the films.
Odumodu Black has won best rapper.
They have comedy, they have movies, and they have music, and they give Charlie Poppy the whole Nigeria state over how many states? As Charlie Poppy best rapper. It should tell you the state of their music industry. That is why if the Headies is going in that direction, you should pardon them. Because it's so scattered just like their states. It's not an insult. Just look at Charlie Poppy winning best rapper. Let's look at TGMA who win best rapper. Let's put them head to head.
Oh, that one there is a mismatch. We beg you. It's a mismatch.
Okay.
Seriously.
I think we end it here today. To those who were not satisfied with Long John,
Everybody will be satisfied.
please sing him out.
The views of Long John is Long John.
Yes. Long John is only known for his views and not the view of the whole platform.
Oh God,
If you have any concerns, send it
At this point, we disown him for you.
Well, it has been a good start. Nigeria is on the chopping board. Osinachi's husband and now I'm sure they have taken the trends from Odumodu Black. Pim. They've taken the trend from him. It is like that. Well, special thank you to you for spending time with us, to my producers, Theophilus Digosh, Desert, as well as Sam Tuga, and my pundits, favorite guys here on Sammy Flex TV. Long John at the extreme end, Intimdo Solomon in the middle, Roland Amate, my immediate left. And to you for watching, my name is Sammy Flex. Be sure we'll be meeting again on this platform. Subscribe to us. Let's read your commentaries. We'll meet you when we meet you. We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Everybody check now. Check it. Check it. Check it. That beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. For check it. Green select glucometer. For check it. Push sugar level for check it. For check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.